Hi there and welcome to Lorena's Labyrinth. My name's Anna Pirelli. The comments that you see here are my views, beliefs, opinions, and sometimes they are not even my fully formed views, beliefs, and opinions. However, they are my understandings. Please do retain an open mind and reflect on any of the content and your comfort levels. If your views differ, please feel free to leave a comment. Also remember, it is possible to disagree in respectful ways. My way is not necessarily your way and vice versa. You might also find that some of the content on this playlist in regard to spiritual or universal laws, it resonates with you, meaning it feels right to you, while other laws may not feel right or they may not feel comfortable. If this is the case, the information is either not right for you or it is not right for you right now, and it might never be right for you at any given time. It really doesn't matter. As an earthy and practical person, I can put my hand up with all honesty and say that I have at different times had the same feelings about some of the content in here. And with some of them, I still have a level of skepticism within my viewpoints, but I choose to retain an open mind about the things that I don't fully understand for a few reasons. Firstly, because I believe it would be supreme arrogance to think that we all know all of the answers while we have a body. And because what is right for one of us is not necessarily right or suitable for all of us, and I choose to respect the differences. Please do leave your opinions, beliefs. Feel free to argue the points in a respectful way with any of the content on the slides and even my interpretations. And if you feel that you can add clarity around some of the content, we would all love to see it. Thank you. For now, though, let's explore the laws.
All creation is governed by law. The principles that operate in the outer universe, discoverable by scientists, are called natural laws. But there are subtler laws that rule the hidden spiritual planes and the inner realm of consciousness. Contained within these laws, or conditions, is the true nature of matter. Knowledge of these laws has an effect upon the mental urges. Mind is the builder. Stay in full mindfulness of the application of universal law as related to self and to others, and know that in love all life is given, in love all things move. In giving one attains, in giving one acquires. In giving, love becomes the fulfillment of desire, guided and directed in the ways that bring the more perfect knowledge of self as related to the universal, all-powerful, all-guiding, all divine influence in life. Love is life. When we go back, merge with the God source, in some infinitesimal but profound way, we expand the mind of God. Our higher self always points the best and most perfect way, and it is ours to listen and choose or reject what we hear. It does not blame, but patiently tries again to show the perfect way, the loving way. All of creation pushes forth. We are ever becoming. Identity ever remains. Universal law number 42. The law of intention. When a person's intention is held in the mind and action of the physical effort does not follow, people create false impressions of self. He or she thinks self is good or better than actions prove. Energy must follow intention for that which is perceived as good to happen. When an act of kindness is performed and intention is such that one wishes to be recognized for goodness, or has underlying motivation which is not of the higher order, higher rewards will not be forthcoming. Intention and effort must be of the higher vibration to gain or create spiritual accomplishment and reward. If a person gives a promise to another to do something and has an intention to do so, but does not follow through with action, this becomes a lie, a breaking of one's word, and creates karma.
So this particular law, of course, is the law of intention, but when I read it, it sounds more like integrity, to be honest, because it's talking about, if I just sort of revisit this, when a person's intention is held in the mind, an action of the physical effort does not follow. I mean, that's mean if it's all thought and no walk, then well, actually, all talk, no walk, then it gives a false impression of self. So to me, that's about integrity. If somebody's sitting there saying, I'm so wonderful and all the rest of it, but they're not actually capable of demonstrating it, that is clearly egotistical to start with. And then it goes on to the next line of saying that, if he or she thinks self is good or better than actions prove, it's not very well written, I don't think, to start with. But I mean, it's clearly there. I read that as somebody thinks they're better than what they actually are, but they're yet to prove themselves to have any substance to the talk. It's all that waiting stuff. And it says energy must follow intention for that which is perceived as good to happen. So therefore, if I'm talking about how fabulous I am and then not doing anything to support those statements, well, I would say questionable motives just to start with. Let's go on with the rest of this paragraph. Once again, it reads to me of integrity. Okay, when an act of kindness is performed and the intention is such that one wishes to be recognised for goodness or has underlying motivation which is not of the highest order, higher rewards will not be forthcoming. Okay, yeah, that bit's intention. And karma, I think, sort of wrapped in the one sort of little parcel. Okay, so we all will have met different people like this. They're the false people, the insincere people that will do something for you or buy you a gift, and then they expect you to be, oh, they're such a wonderful person, but their gifting was not genuine. We see a lot of this in the charity fields, if you like, when you're working with the disadvantaged folk. There's a lot of people out there that think that if they go, actually, I've got to be careful what I say. It might sound a bit judgmental. I just had another thought come in. I'll just leave it with, you will all know by taking a look at people around you or people that you've met in the past that there are some people with questionable motives who they might do good deeds at times, but they're actually doing it because they've got an underlying motive or agenda. So this law is saying that intention means basically being pure of intent, holding the highest vibration. Let me think on this while I try and unpack it a bit more. Thank God for a pause button. Okay, so the way I interpret this thing, this particular sentence of intention and effort must be of the highest vibration to gain or create spiritual accomplishment and reward. This to me is when we gift genuinely to other people because we're trying to, for example, raise the vibration of the planet or do something good. We're doing it from a space of caring, then that's considered to be meritable, I guess, on a divine plane. Okay, I think we're really speaking of judgment here now. However, if a person gives a promise to another to do something without having any intention to do so and does not follow through with the action, this becomes a lie and a breaking of one's word and creates karma. My goodness me, I would say that absolutely stinks of judgment. I'm sorry, I'm not sure. By the way, I'm not saying that it's a good thing or that there is no karma. I'm thinking this business of a lie isn't always the case. There are people that will do that. We know that everybody will have met a person that's like that, yeah, no worries, no problems, I'll do that. And they've got no intention of doing it. But I mean, ask yourself this, when you look around the neighbourhood and see people that you meet in the course of your day, I certainly know heaps of people that will turn around and speak quite openly about the fact that they are quite antisocial and isolated, and there might be a neighbour that always says to them, oh, you should come by for a cuppa, and they go, yes, I should, as they walk off with no intention of ever going by for a cuppa. Straight away, that's a lie by this law here. So this is why I say, look, it's not necessarily a lie, but it's not necessarily an intention to go and have a cuppa with them either. As I say, I make things as simple as possible. I think, putting it into perspective here, right? Okay, if it's just something like a cuppa, it's minimal, right? If it's the big stuff where somebody is relying on you and it's essential that you carry through on your word, and then you fail to do so, you or me or whatever, then that becomes a lie, and that will create karma. It's going to have a really big ripple effect, because you and I both know that, if you let people down, then you're seen to not have integrity. It may impact on future employment positions, all sorts of things. So yeah, I can see how it could or would create karma in that situation. What else? I think I would just really add something more to this that's not actually covered in the law, but basically just my observations before signing out for today. And that is, I remember seeing harm being done by people who actually genuinely meant well. And I'm thinking of a clear case of some people that I knew, and I'm not going to name them or anything like that. I'm not even going to discuss the situations as to what I observed. What I recognised, because this was back in the early days for me, I was actually really angry with a lady because I was privy to the harm that she'd done to this other person. And at the time I had thought that she was being ego-driven, and in fact, in hindsight, I think she was. But I felt there was a malice involved with what this lady had done to the other one. And cutting a long story short, I found myself in a social situation sitting opposite this lady that you may as well say I was feeling quite judgmental of, and blaming her for what had happened to this woman. Anyway, I actually asked her, I was straight up, because that is who I am, I'm very honest, and I just turned around and I asked her and I said, don't you feel guilty and bad about what happened to this person? And this woman looked at me with a straight face. She goes, well, why would I? And I thought, because of what you did and said to her, and because she put you on a pedestal, because this lady was putting herself up on a pedestal as a spiritual teacher. And look, actually, I will. Right, she told the other lady that she needed her, and when the other lady said, I don't think I do, the other one became very forceful. Anyway, I'm not going to go too far into it. Basically, the lady that I considered to be a perpetrator, I recognised in the course of conversation, actually could not see that she had done harm, and she didn't have any intention of doing harm. So that was where I learned that there's a truth to the saying in the Bible that, even the best paved intentions or whatever can be pathways to hell, So I think that becomes a combination not just of intention, but recognition and awareness, and being able to take responsibility for your actions, and being aware of how your actions might impact on other people. But anyway, I am going to leave this with you to have a think about, and if you feel like commenting, do, because I really would like to see people commenting. Have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye-bye.